Hey peeps, welcome back to a special continuation of our previous episode. We talked so much we had to split it up. So if you haven't listened to the previous, go ahead and check that out. If you're all caught up, then you may proceed.
My topic next?
Do you want to go your way?
Or didn't Lonnie say he had a nice segue to yours? Or?
Segue. It can be. It's up to you. Whatever.
No, it's you.
Mine?
Okay, I'll do mine.
It was about the beginning of that conversation. But
We'll do like a quick game to make it go faster here.
I haven't seen one of these for a while.
Oh, what happened? Oh no, what happened?
Oh no.
So we're gonna determine who goes first, or at least second. So we're gonna do a first to three. I'm gonna ask you guys some questions, and I would like you guys to answer them.
3.
So first question, random questions here. I got some random questions.
Okay.
Do we have to say like who answers first? Like,
Sure.
How do we do that?
Jeremy, how many hosts of the Boundless PodTrap are there?
4.
1.
3.
Correct. 3 hosts, 1 permanent guest.
You know what that? You know what that means, Sean?
John,
You're a
ho! Saw that one coming.
But
Wait,
I can't bring people back from the dead.
John, when is Lonnie's birthday?
oh man, you're making me draw a blank here.
Pass. Lonnie,
July.
August 16th, 1984.
correct.
You're
Okay.
older than me.
What?
I always forget that.
Well, Lonnie, what episode are we on?
53.
52.
We're on 53.
But because I
last
like
week
you-
was 52.
Last week was 51.
No,
wasn't
last week was
Last week was
52.
it? It might have been 51.
No, last week was
Last
52.
week was 51.3
But because I like you, I'll let you have it. So you win. Go ahead. You win.
because
Okay.
he was
What's
here
your
for our
topic?
50th.
It's my topic. So
Yeah.
That was it?
Well, you got all the questions right.
Because you're a Jew.
Uh-uh.
Whoa. What the fuck?
lonely you on Christmas.
Well, how come these worms taste like nuts?
Because they were in my nuts.
Like,
Why are you why are you eating it like a giraffe? Sorry, I gave everyone in the room a gummy worm.
You got 2 pouches?
Lonnie's been getting
I've been
getting
the
him most
lucky
of the
one,
day, and that's why he's behaved.
If you hear and then long sections of me being quiet.
And what sounds like somebody's eating pussy.
That's what the slurp.
You like that, bitch? Black dynamite. So now I see why baseball wasn't your career.
You want to play darts?
All right, I'll do my topic.
Okay.
Wow. I feel the love coming out of this room.
Black dynamite.
So what body part are we learning about today?
We're not. I'm not doing body parts this week. I'm doing something. So
What the fuck is that freeze frame?
It's casino.
Freeze frame. Freeze
Go
frame.
ahead, Lonnie.
Casino, where he gets his hand fucked up.
Who's casino?
2 weekends ago, I'm working on a project with some friends. I really can't release too much on the actual project, but 2 weeks ago,
Let's talk about it on the podcast.
I got the opportunity to go down to Atchison, Kansas, to the famous, I believe it's 1899. I don't really. What? Turn off your fucking thing.
He missed the opportunity. You said a year and you didn't do the.
Oh. The 1889
There it is.
McInteer Villa in Atchison, Kansas.
The hell's that?
So it's a big
Fuck.
it's a haunted mansion that's supposedly one of the most haunted locations in the United States. Group of people went down, we explored it, shot some stuff there, and I thought it'd be cool to talk about
Didn't
my
we talk about
experiences.
gun violence?
Yeah, well,
Shot like footage.
shot it with
gotcha,
some
gotcha,
ectoplasm.
Ew.
No, but I just thought it'd be cool to talk about, going down there, what some other people in the group experienced, what my thoughts on it were, since you guys couldn't have been there.
Yeah, sick invite.
Yeah, right. But yeah, a beautiful place built in 1889. Huge fucking place.
My golem is gonna get bumpy.
So stupid. Go ahead.
John's completely checked out at this point.
Oh, shit.
I don't even think he's holding the mic at this point.
My dick.
What?
My dick.
Whatever.
It's a beautiful place.
It's a beautiful place. Probably like 5,000 square foot. So, original owner built it. John McInteer was a real estate guy, whatever, lived there with his family. Supposedly the property has had 9 deaths on it.
Damn.
I purposely didn't listen to the lady's story, like the walkthrough lady who gave like, this is what happened here, and this is what happened here, and this is what happened
Right.
here. Like,
Half that time that shit's made up.
right. So I,
Leading questions, all that.
right. So I didn't go through, I didn't do that. But the house was absolutely immaculately beautiful for such an old house. Like when we did Squirrel Cage, like it was nicely kept up, but it was still like it was old and it just looked old.
Speaking of which, is that online?
No, because we Facebook Lived it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Facebook.
but I thought we, whatever. It might have been. Yeah, whatever.
Well, it was immaculate. The place was just beautifully well kept up, well cleaned, hardly any dust anywhere, even down in the basement where you would expect it to be dirty and stuff. It was like there was dust and dirt and a little bit of cobwebs and whatnot, but it was just beautifully well, immaculately kept up. All the original decor from the 1800s mixed with some Halloween decorations to kind of like keep the atmosphere a little spooky. But it wasn't good Halloween decorations. It was like Dollar Tree skulls and like a spooky picture here and there.
Like the front half of skeletons while it's flat on the back.
Right. Yeah. And like a picture of like an old people like that you walk
Fucking.
this way and all of a sudden they have spooky faces, but you walk this way and they're not.
So
But it's like really bad hologram.
how do you know that that wasn't a ghost?
I don't.
You have to prove it.
But everything else, like the furniture was immaculate. The weirdest thing about the place was you would think in a place like that that's a historical society, it would be don't touch anything. Everything there, the lady, her name was Jess, she would let you touch anything. And that was one of the things is
Slut.
yeah,
Bang.
absolutely. Like she would let you sit in any of the chairs, lay in any of the beds. I actually slept in a bed from 1889 and I've got some pictures.
Slept.
I've got some pictures in the bed I slept in that I'll send to you. You can put online if you want.
So it's the McInteer Villa?
McInteer Villa
Yeah.
in
okay.
Atchison,
Yeah, I'm looking
Kansas.
at it right now. I just want to make sure I'm looking at the right thing.
Yeah, absolutely great. Some of the things that
That's
we
a
were
gorgeous
there.
house.
I pretty much my role of being there was to be the quote unquote skeptic. So it kind of went in with the attitude of it's just an old house. It's just an old pretty house. So I kind of went in with the mindset.
How
of-
much? How much is this?
So it's $300 for 10 people.
Good Lord, that's a lot of money.
For all
$30 a person.
How about I give you $3? Go ahead.
for all night. So you get it at 3 o'clock, you check out at 10 o'clock the next day. But that's basically, it's like a B&B. Like it has
Yeah,
a
that's
full,
what you
Does it have any perks with it? Like a
you get
like a
You
left-handed
get to touch
fleshlight?
anything,
What?
including the
Look,
lady
it's a-
that.
it's a
including the
four-
lady that fucking lives
it's
there.
a 4-story B&B with like 4 bedrooms
Oh,
with
wow.
beds.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
No left-handed fleshlights?
No left-handed fleshlights that I found.
But they were immaculate, the ones
They
that
were
there.
beautifully immaculate. There was a chessboard. And there was a Ouija board there we played with. They provided a Ouija board. As for experiences, everybody had something that happened to them. Some people
Allegedly.
had, yeah. Some people had some weird stuff. Other people had some weird stuff. I was able to, I didn't like, it was one of those where like, I didn't tell people like, what you experienced was this, this, and this. Like, I didn't want to be an asshole. I let
Right.
everyone,
That's what this podcast is for.
right. I let everyone have their fun.
And now you're going to shit
One
on
of
them
the-
and tear them down.
2 of the people who were in my group were local from the area. One kid was an 18-year-old kid.
In that Kansas area?
One was from Topeka.
Okay.
And
I
I
didn't
don't-
know if you meant like local.
Oh,
like,
no,
to
no,
us.
sorry. One kid was from the Topeka area, and the lady, a much older lady, I think she was probably in her 50s, mid-50s, late 50s. She was more giggly than scared, but anytime anything would happen, the younger kid, who was that? There's a ghost. What was that?
How young were these kids?
They were all.
Always reminds me of that South Park episode. What was that? What was that?
What was that? They were. So the age group, the 18-year-old kid was definitely the youngest. Everyone else, there was one.
So 18 to 50? Like you just said?
18 to 50, yeah.
So
mostly
a nice little mix of people.
mid-30s, early 30s to
Our
mid-30s.
okay.
Yeah, our age. There was 9 of us total.
I was just curious because that kind of makes a difference.
Right, right.
You know,
Yeah,
more experiences that you've had or
right.
whatnot.
And everyone very knowledgeable. Like I think there was 4 or 5 people who were very knowledgeable in the field of the paranormal. And then there was a couple people who liked it but wasn't very knowledgeable. And then there was, like I said, there was the 18-year-old kid who knew very little about anything but was very enthusiastic.
That's good.
Very easily
Gullible.
gaslit. Yes.
I think it would be kind of fun to do go to a alleged haunted place
We have.
and bring a person that's doesn't believe in that shit whatsoever.
Right.
A person that's 100% gullible with everything, and then the person that's kind of like,
and somebody we could sacrifice.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
At least
A
one
virgin?
person. Oh, we don't know any of those.
I'll do it.
Jeremy's is grown back by this point.
Yes,
We can bring Jenny.
Jeremy's virginity is grown back by this point.
I don't know what that means. I thought we bring Jenny to everything. I don't.
I mean, she's. Never mind.
Go ahead.
So, some of the things that happened throughout the night that I was part of.
Oh, I was just about to ask this because there's a list of things that occur, and I'm curious how much of these that you experienced.
Well, some of the things that we had experienced that. So throughout the house, and there was a couple neat things that I've never really considered doing at paranormal stuff, and this is coming from a kid who loves the paranormal, has been doing it since I've been knee high to a grasshopper.
You know you're not a kid anymore.
In this scenario, I'm a kid. We took balloons and we filled them up with helium, but we took those. Remember those little glow sticks you used to
Yes.
get at like skating rinks? They're like an inch glow stick.
Oh, yeah.
We popped those and put them in the helium balloons. So when it was completely dark, there would just be random balloons floating everywhere, but they were glowing in the dark. like,
Helium
really
is
bright. It's a very fine resource, but we used the shit out of it.
Okay.
So that was pretty
fine
neat.
at my work. It's go ahead.
That was something we were doing, and I something I've never considered before, but it was something kind of neat to just be walking through the dark and all of a sudden see like a glowing thing like
Wouldn't that not
2 foot off the ground.
startle the shit out of you?
It kind of, yeah, but then once you realize it's there, you kind of got used to it. But there was so much drafting and so many people walking through the houses. What would be in front of you, you'd turn around and then you'd turn back around. It'd be right in front of your face. You kind of had to get used to that. It's like everything you would do would intentionally scare you throughout the night.
It's right in front of your face and you just can't hide it.
Yeah.
Finally.
Right. You just got to open up and take it. There was a bunch of little motion sensor balls throughout the house too, like on
Balls.
all the supposed haunted places. Like there was a couple dolls that had activity to them, some chairs, a couple certain rooms, but they were scattered everywhere throughout the house. And the closer you would get to them, they were motion censored. They would go off. Some of them you couldn't get within 5 feet of them because it's an old house and it was kind of vibrating. You couldn't get within 5 feet of them without them going off from just your natural vibration of the walk-in. Some of them you would literally have to pick up and shake to get them to go off. So some were gimmicky, some were cool. Upstairs in the attic, and this is, like I said, I have some pictures I can send you to put up when you release this episode. There was scrying mirrors, and for those of you who don't know what scrying is,
You have to look at the top 2 cards and then
yeah, you can choose to keep them on top or put them on the bottom. It's a mirror. You're able to look into a mirror and project yourself wherever the mirror is open to that location. Well, they had 7 scrying mirrors to other haunted locations. Well, 2 of the locations that were in Atchison, Kansas were to the Villisca Axe Murder House and to the Malvern Manor, which those are literally 15 minutes and 30 minutes from my house. So I was kind of frustrated. I had to drive 3 hours to a place where I could have just looked in the mirror
Right.
and been 15 minutes. But I was the only one brave enough to sleep in the most haunted room in the house, but it was the biggest room, had the biggest bed, so
you said 8 people
9.
died? 9 people died?
Yeah, so the story after I'd left, I did a little bit more research on it. So supposedly the basement, they would do illegal abortions. That's why the basement area there was one suicide in the house, a bunch of natural deaths.
How many of those abortions were suicides?
Probably a good chunk of them.
You don't know. Like, look at roadkill. How many of those roadkill do you think are suicides? Don't look at me like that.
That's a fair question.
But a lot
you
of
don't know if these are suicides or not. Animals could have mental health issues.
We talked about this.
Don't fucking
Put
look at
enough
me like
attention on. I know.
Animals can have guns too.
Man, that'd be an interesting movie.
I'm not shaking my head at the animal thing. It's the baby comment.
Oh,
Mr. fucking High Horse.
I'm just. It is what it is. I don't expect anything less from Justin.
I am very wholesome.
Just
You're
like
just being a
concur.
dickhead. You're being a dickhead for no phallic reason.
You're a fucking idiot. Anyways, continue.
yeah, some of the stuff you'd hear people walking around. You'd hear doors opening and shutting. But like I said, old house. If you live in an old house or you lived in a farmhouse, it's just natural stuff.
So can I go down this checklist and see if anybody experienced
Sure,
this?
let's hear the checklist.
Okay, so it says lights turning on and off in the tower, which does not have electricity.
That was up in the attic, which no, nothing like that
Nothing like
happened. No, that's where I slept. So no,
Nice. And you said it was a big comfy bed? Was it comfy or was it just big?
it was like straw stuffed in a fucking gunny sack on top of wood. So no, not really comfy.
What? Yeah, that sounds terrible.
Yeah.
There was two mannequins.
pricklies.
There was two mannequins on each side of the bed, though.
Nope,
so when
I'm out.
So when I would roll over and I'd wake up and I'd look, I'd be like, "Fuck!"
Yeah, fuck. What?
Why would they?
What? Were they just plain mannequins? Or they have...
The one of them was
They have
just
clothes
They were
on,
just
or-
dresses. They were just like mannequin forms with dresses.
Oh, so it was like little dress stand
Nice.
things.
Were they
Yeah.
hot?
Yeah, were they hot?
I
They
mean,
had nice features.
I could have came to them, but
That does not
and I
sound
might have.
That's another
Anyway,
abortion.
let's go down the list.
Figures seen in windows when no one is at the home.
No,
Wait, say that again.
Figures seen
figures.
in
Figure
windows.
skaters in the window.
Figure
figure
skaters in the
skaters in the windows.
Speaker thrown off the counter and boxes moving.
Jesus, that sounds hard.
Stuff moving. There, we think we sat stuff down in one area and found it in others, like the balloons or.
That's
Or
what he
stuff.
just said, though.
Well,
With the
yeah.
mannequins, he said his boxers were moving.
Jesus. Boxes.
Boxes.
So that's a possibility.
The chair that Goldie died in was known to rock back and forth on its own.
Yeah, nothing on that.
Goldie Hawn died.
Yeah, Goldie Hawn died there.
Sounds of slamming doors throughout the night.
Yep, that we did hear quite a bit.
And you just said the footsteps walking down the hallway
Yeah.
on the second floor.
Yeah.
Some feel uneasy on the second floor, feeling that they're being watched.
Never felt watched, but like I said, it's an old creepy farmhouse. There's not farmhouse, but old creepy house.
Right.
There was too many of us in there to not feel watched
That's
because
fair.
there's so many people in a building. You always expect to turn the corner and someone to be there.
You kind of already said this. Go ahead.
Were there visible cameras and stuff? I mean, like if there's motion detected stuff, I would imagine there's other things where people can see.
Ooh, yeah, there was cameras in most hallways and in most of the major rooms.
Were
there
you
was,
allowed to bring cameras and stuff like that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Public toilets and stuff
Yeah, there was two major bathrooms on every floor.
with cameras. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
In the
absolutely.
Toilet
Yeah,
cams.
there was a confessional cam right across from the toilet where you could
yeah.
do confessionals if you wanted to.
You can tell how scared
Glory
someone
hole.
is by
Yeah, glory hole.
examining their taints. Go.
Snakes in the toilet.
You already said this kind of items tend to be moved from one location to another.
Yep.
Creaks of turning doorknobs. You did say something like that, but
Creaks-
that's like old.
Creaks,
like
yes,
you said,
turning
old
doorknobs,
house,
but that's
yeah.
just old house. There's a big alarm clock or a big like grandfather clock
Uh-huh.
that would randomly go off, but the clock there was no like chime in the clock. You know how like there's the
Yeah.
thing. There was no like chime part on it, so there's no way it could have been going off.
Was it like a normal chime sound though?
Yeah, it was just like a normal. It sounded like a clock, like a the pendulum style clock.
Or- yeah, like a.
But there was no way. Yeah, and it went off like 2 or 3 times throughout the night, and
Could
like,
be like
maybe something internal.
an electric. Well, they could like also rig something to
Right.
make noises like that too. Lights turning off and on.
I never experienced
Dramatic changes in temperature.
like I said, old drafty house.
Right.
so-
That's why I never.
It's like you hear the air conditioner kick in. And
voices of male and
That's a
female,
ghost.
but you said 8 people in the house.
So
you'll
many people
probably
were
hear,
there. Yeah.
The door to one of the sitting rooms upstairs opens on its own, and a shadow person has been seen a few times.
everybody's a shadow.
The shadow people.
That's right.
Especially if you have these glow
Racist.
sticks. Like, shadows are
Right.
probably just,
Yeah. Shadow people, it's hard to tell. Like I said, there were so many people and there were so many ambient light places, especially with all
Right.
the little motion sensors going off in certain places you would walk by. There was a motion sensor that went off and I wasn't ever able to duplicate it. That was just like, it made me angry because I couldn't
Right.
duplicate it. I didn't think it was anything. It just pissed me off that I couldn't do it again.
Maybe it was on a timer. Like it won't do it until after a certain amount of time.
it's like
Baby.
kind of like the clock.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like
Anything
an
that
attraction like that
Yeah.
could be rigged. You'd have to like really investigate.
I
stuff
do-
like that though.
I can't
I
help.
don't think
but,
they're gonna let you take apart the clock though.
Yeah, I can't help but like dismiss most of it, especially if I am aware that there's motion sensor stuff. It's like,
Right.
well, then everything is, like nothing. If you're going to try to trick somebody into one thing, who's to say there's other shit, lights and all this other
Mhm.
stuff that's
Right.
not good?
And that's kind of the downfall with most commercial haunts.
Right.
Like any place you go into that's like, oh, it's so haunted. And like if you look at this place on YouTube, every video you look at on YouTube, everybody's like,
This is the scariest place I've ever seen.
and like even in them just talking, stuff's happening here and there. There's even a video of Stormy Daniels exploring the place,
Nice.
Exploring her place.
exploring her place at the place.
Oh,
The last one on the list is the scent of powdery woman's perfume and hint of cigarettes. But again, that's something that could be piped in
Right.
as well.
And it's Kansas. Like what
Yeah.
doesn't smell of powdery perfume and cigarettes?
I think we should go there with the boys at the Mighty Misfit Kings. Because I
They
bet you
don't play
they'd
like
be
that.
Which
scared.
are down to
Are
like
you kidding?
2.
I gonna go to a haunted place with 4 giant black men
why?
because who do you think's gonna be sacrificed
Why?
first out of this group? Who's gonna be pushed down and murdered first?
Me.
The small tiny Jew? Yeah, probably.
No,
The guy
usually
that
in
dropped
horror,
the N-word.
usually in
the
horror
movie
movies,
podcast.
it's the black guy that goes first. So you got 4 ahead of you. Then you.
So when I was there, they had a
Sorry.
they had their book of
I'm sorry.
He's embarrassed now.
they had their book of like people signing with their experiences, and I grabbed a couple of my favorite ones that I wanted to share. This one's dated December 27th, 2021.
Overall, the house was beautiful and we all had a blast. Our first occurrence was hearing footsteps on the second floor. Shortly after that, I said hello through one of the walkie-talkies, and a voice downstairs responded with a whispered hello back. A different voice upstairs was trying to reach us through the walkie-talkies. We were able to have a conversation with the many voices, but couldn't exactly make out what they were saying. The voice asked us what our names were, how old we were, and kept repeating, "Can you repeat that?" Other girls reported seeing a man in a black suit walking up and down the main staircase. We had different experiences. We will definitely come back.
I thought that one was neat.
How do you know over a
said
walkie-talkie if a
comeback.
voice is coming from downstairs or upstairs over the walkie-talkie?
I just what
Was it
location?
like-
I'm upstairs.
I'm upstairs. What's your name?
I'm
checking-
downstairs.
I'm checking out the fridge. I mean,
Over.
Oh
The
shit!
downstairs is talking to me.
this one was from January 23rd, 2022.
We stayed the night in the beautiful villa. Last night was my 30th birthday party. There were 5 of us all together, and we had a great time. As far as activity goes, we did hear 3 different knocks from upstairs while we were sitting at the dining table. We wound up the Big Bird toy, sat in silence, and recorded while it played. When we listened back, we heard a gasp, growl sound. After coming up from the basement and using the look-through, it sounded like it was being rattled. Probably just the door settling, but still scary as fuck. One member using their structured light sensor camera saw a figure in the purple sitting room multiple times. When another person in the party was close to the figure, it looked like it kicked her. We all
Are you
felt
ready for the
we all felt heavy and uncomfortable in the library, but not only experienced anything very specific. Thank you for the great party and memories.
So if you're in there for so long, are you able to use like the kitchen to cook stuff?
Yeah,
Or
there was 2 different kitchens, and there's.
interesting.
Did you
Yeah.
try the mashed potatoes?
We went to a really shitty Chinese buffet.
Oh, because there are 5 reviews about the mashed potatoes on here, apparently.
Good ones or bad ones?
Good. They said it's amazing. This has a 4.8 out of 5 stars on 150
That's because
reviews.
the upstairs ghost is so nice.
Last one out of the book I found.
Very active location. Mashed potatoes are to die for.
Don't like that.
Experienced small activity. Had a great time. Heard some stuff. Smoked some grass. Smelled some ass.
Nice.
Sorry if she lingers. We really don't know her.
Sorry if she lingers.
Sounds like a Justin review.
Would definitely come back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Taylor was nice and passionate. There's a lot
I
of
wanna
great
go
reviews
there.
on this place.
I mean,
We should go.
It was super cool.
2.5 hours.
For a place that was that big and where you could sleep, where there's tons of couches you can sleep on, tons of beds you can sleep on. You're well taken care of. The lady literally
Nice.
gives you the code to the door and just fucks off. Like it's literally your place.
A B
And
B2B or whatever BPT.
And I'm sorry if you said this before, but is it just your group or is there other groups
Nope,
there too?
just the people you bring.
God, see, we just
And
need to do the
anything-
4 of us.
Anything more than 10 people, it's like an additional. It's like $30 or something like that. But $300.
You want less people there. I
All right.
think Crystal will pay for it, right?
Sure.
Thanks, Crystal.
Now that we don't have to spend $300 every month together
That's true.
without a studio space and
We should seriously go there
I mean,
soon, like before it gets ungodly hot out.
no, we did. The coolest thing about the whole night, and I will state this, was I learned about something called the Emerson experiment. And before I go into it, have you guys ever seen like the things on YouTube or TikTok where it's like they have a jumbled mess of words and then they'll have like 2 sentences come up and it'll be like brainstorm or green something or other, like green pickle. And like if you read brainstorm, you'll hear the word brainstorm. But if you read the word green pickle, you'll hear green pickle. Have you ever seen any of those?
Yeah.
I have not.
it's kind of like the
July's pretty open.
Do it.
What was it? The
Apparently,
an
nobody goes on a
auditory
Wednesday.
type of thing, like pink dress or white blue type of thing. But like whatever you're reading is what you're hearing at the time.
So if I'm reading an erotic love novel,
No, I mean like you can hear like a sound or a phrase or whatever, and it's like, oh, this one sounds like it's saying Butterfinger or whatever, and it's like, oh no, it's saying check the
Well-
elevator. Oh,
that's kind of before we get on to the next topic, because it goes in with Lonnie's topic. How I posted that audio clip that we found when we were recording the Mystery of the Manor
it was just
movie.
bullshit. But
It's one of those things where I posted it to see what other people thought it was saying, and it was just like the first person that commented, I'm like listening, I'm like, fuck, 100%, that's what it's
I
saying.
hear. And then,
And
the
then
next
somebody
person
else
says,
says
that's
something,
what I
I'm
hear.
like, motherfucker, I hear that too. So
I'm telling you, it's not what it said. It's what I said is what it said. That really fucked with me.
What are you doing?
But anyway, but anyway,
goes.
but anyway, so we did an experiment,
I
and
was like, wait.
it was called the Emerson experiment, where you get blindfolded and then you put on
Nice.
noise canceling headphones, and it's basically that, like where that jumbled mess of words are. And you just listen to it with everything. You're blind. You can't see. You're just listening to that. And you're just supposed to say when you can finally decipher hearing words, whatever you finally hear and words come to you, you're just supposed to say them out loud.
Right.
But the rest of the people in your group sit around you and ask you questions or ask the ghost questions. And you're supposed to be the conduit to answer the questions. And I've never done anything quite like that before. And it doesn't work all the time, but when it does kind of work, when something correlates to the questions you answer, it's kind of neat. I don't know how real it is, and subconsciously, I don't know if you're hearing the questions and you're just answering subconsciously, but it was a neat experiment. It's subconsciously, it was more of like a psychology thing to me,
Right.
like your brain.
I feel like there's more novelty to it, and being people, we are pattern-seeking creatures that, I mean, again, sometimes it might fall into something coherent, but
Right.
I feel like we're just going to find what we think, and then the first thing we'll probably use that as leading, and then like, oh, okay, this goes here.
Right. But yeah, I had a great time. If anyone's interested in the place, like I said, it's the 1889 McInteer Villa in Atchison, Kansas. You can check out their website.
McInteer.
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 Capital M, little c, INTEER.
Villa.com.
Villa in Atchison, Kansas.
And
You
if
can-
you're one person or 10 people, it's $300.
$300.
flat rate.
Yep.
$400 for Friday, Saturday.
You can get guided tours.
I'll go Wednesday.
Apparently, no Wednesdays are booked for like the next 4 months.
Yeah.
That's the naughty night. That's amateur night.
That's wet Wednesdays.
Hold on, I have to see what this one is. I don't know what this one is.
You knew exactly what that was, you son of a bitch.
I thought it was Tickle Me Elmo.
That's Tickle Me Elmo.
Oh,
But
shit.
likes a podcast.
Oh, what? Likes your punk ass. What did you say?
Elmo likes a podcast.
That's exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
You heard something else.
But check it out. I had a great time. You'll have a great time
And
too.
we're going to have a great time when we go.
Yay!
Tomorrow.
On Wednesday.
Elmo loves it.
That podcast do anything for you? Well, that's not all. Stay tuned next week for the continuation of this episode, or whenever these things come out. Later.